Good morning, everyone. Thank you for watching this video. Let me get started. Let me tell you more about the company first. We are Smart Office Payroll and Biometric Solutions Private Limited. We have been into attendance for almost a decade now, and we have been providing solutions with some of the very well-known biometric brands. And We have good number of customers who have been using our attendance solution for their attendance management, leave management, shift management, canteen management, and the biometrics management. And then we have a good number of channel partners who are spread across all over India, and this number somewhere is around 3 to 5,000. So there are very good number of customers that have been using attendance so far. And we are also into payroll solutions. We started this around 5 years back, and uh, we have around 250 to 300 clients as of now who are satisfied with our services. And you can see this list on our website at smartofficepayroll.com clientele page. Both the list will be are updated separately for attendance and payroll. Uh, we also have HRMS solutions, which we have started around 12 months back, and we have around 6 to 7 very good modules. And all these things I'll be explaining in today's session. Let's get started. Attendance, as known by everyone, it's something which we capture to understand what needs to be paid to the employee. So, good number of settings are required here. First of all, we are seamlessly integrated with the biometrics. So, let me directly show you where do we do this. The device management is the option where we integrate our devices. All the devices will be included here. Whenever the device is online, it will be visible in green. And so you can control the device also for certain features. And that depends on, again, the device module. So device logs can be visible here. And there are certain features like upload or delete or expire a user, which can be managed from our software. And then you can also transfer the users. And then there is something called as a register user. You can also register employees from this particular option, wherein you can register the employee from the software itself directly without having to do anything on the device. Now let us understand about the attendance part. What are the broad master features that are available? There are certain basic settings that are available, and other settings on the employee level, which can be set up at the master level. Some of them are like when do you want to start the punches, what would be the quarterly duration, and those kind of the things. And then how do you want the employee specific things to be captured, as in whether any specific employees, whether all the employees punches should be auto captured. We have certain employee mobile app related features here, wherein validation of IMEI is possible. If you want to reject blank locations, or whether you want the employee code to be generated automatically. So such features are available here. And then we have options like mail settings and SMS settings, which can be configured from here. And then we have certain options as in when would an email get shooted to an employee. So these are the situations when you can shoot an email to the employee. And then here you will see the options when you can shoot an SMS to the employee. So both the options are separately shown here. Based on your requirement, you can use those options. Now, this is the option where you can control what is visible on the employee ESS login, that is web employee self-service login. Mobile app cannot be controlled. So let's move forward. And what do we have next is our you can define n number of system users. There's no restriction as such. And then you can always define permissions for this particular user. You can assign various companies, and you can assign various departments from here. You can assign locations, and then you can assign which models will be visible to that particular employee. If any a particular user is specified as a system admin, he gets all the permissions. Coming to the other masters, you can create branch, you can create departments, you can create locations, you can create employment type, grade, team, etc., etc. These are all the masters, so you can create it. And in case you are importing something, that will get auto created. You don't need to create it here separately. Now coming to category, category is one of the important masters where your HR policies are all configured. So just to give you an example, for some of the few category options are like you can manage your how the OT will work, how the OT will get calculated also is given as an option. Minimum maximum OT options is given. So a certain number of OT options are given here. And then in terms of HR policies, you can define what happens if people are doing single punch, whether you want to consider them as absent or present. Then you can define your week offs, you can define your break hour rules, you can define your weekly off rules, you can define your half day rules, your half day durations, your absent durations, your quarter day durations, and then whether your mobile app clock in clock out should be auto approved. And then then there are certain options like sandwich policy, which we also call as prefix suffix day. How do you do with the absence in case of prefix and suffix days, where the prefix and suffix are, and the center part is the if it's a holiday or a week off. And then you can also define settings in terms of when a comp off should be calculated for half day, when it should calculate for a full day, and then certain such similar options are available here. I'm just specifying some of the important options. Now there is also another option which is like mark continuous late. We normally see people coming in late for various reasons. So you can define a late policy wherein either you can have a direct deduction in absence in case of if people are late for a certain number of days. It can we can mark full day, half day as an absent, or you can deduct leave also, and you can define the priority wise which leave to be applied based on the balance available with the employee. So this is about category in short. There are more options. If you have any questions, our team should be available to take care of those. Now let me go to the classified masters in terms of what is available in terms of leave policies. In terms of leave, you can define a number of leaves. There is no restriction as such. But in case if you're defining separately, please do not use these special codes. You can use separate codes. These are standard CL, PL, SL are the standard codes. So, but you can always define your rules for this particular leaves also. So what can you define as in when will this leaves get start getting created is what you can define here as in terms of allotment can be defined. You can define whether which gender will have this specific leave applied, will have this leave as an eligibility, because normally the maternity or paternity leaves are the gender specific. And then whether the employees will be able to apply for full day, quarter day, half day, those can also be defined. Now, the certain important options like when will the allotment get started, and how much to do a carry forward, whether we need to increase year on year basis, and then should this be done on a pro rata basis if employee joins in the middle of the year, will this leave be applicable for leave encashment? Such options can also be defined. If you're encashing it, you can also define minimum and maximum encashment limits. So, and then you can also define the clubbing rules, as in if you want any specific leaves only to be clubbed with these particular leaves, then you can also define that. Minimum leave avail per instance can be defined, maximum leave per instance can be defined. Minimum gap between two leaves can also be defined. Maximum instances allowed per year can be defined. And then leave avail from. So one thing is when does the allotment happen and when the employee can start taking the leave. For example, normally the earned leaves allotment happens right from the start, but he is not being able to avail it till confirmation or 1 year. So that kind of rules can also be defined. So this is about the leave type. Leave can also be allotted by category. This is the option where you can define that, and this is how you can do it. Now coming to, you can also view the history, and those kind of options are also available. You can define the shift, as in you can define n number of shifts in the system. It can be general, it can be fixed, it can be flexible, and within a shift, you can also define these kind of rules such as the break duration, the begin time, end time, your break one begin time, your break two begin time, first begin before and after. And on the other side, you can also define partial day in case of it's a week off, and then if you want to have any specific rules in terms of half day, if employee reports to office after a specific time or leaves before a specific time, so that kind of rules can also be defined. And when will the session one end, when will the session two start? So, and the grace time can also define in the shift settings also. This is about the shift. You can define a number of shifts, as I said before. Um, and to add to the facility, there is something we call it a shift group and a shift roster. Shift group is something that you can assign multiple shifts to a particular employee, and let the system understand which of the shifts he is coming for. And you can also assign shift roster. Shift roster is something where he would so the other option is shift roster, wherein you can define the shift roster of the employee in the term, which also means that you can define the entire calendar, or either on the weekly basis or the monthly basis, as in which shift the employee would be coming for that particular month. The shifts, the weeks can be repeated or the months can be repeated, if and even if you have something in terms of on a monthly basis, if you want to repeat the shift, then this recursive shift option can also be used. We also have an option of defining your holidays, as in if you want to define different public holidays for different people, different set of people, then you can define different holiday groups. Or if you want to just import a certain number of fixed holidays for all the employees, and add restricted holidays in terms of you want to give a couple of or 3 to 4 specific holidays to specific group of people, then you can include it as restricted holidays. And for this restricted holidays, the employees will apply from the ESS or mobile app, or the admin can also import it using the register option. So these are the various features which are available in the attendance on the category level, wherein you can define the HR policies, leave policies, shift policies, and the holiday options. Now, in terms of employees, you can define a lot of details here. You will see a lot of dashboard options which will keep coming over in the cloud option, wherein a lot of details can be ascertained. In the employee side, you can define the managers, you can define a lot of details in terms of all these options can be defined here. The employee details, other details, reporting employees, address, contact, dependents, medical details, all this can be defined by the admin, or these all can be defined from the employee login also. Then we have canteen facility also, wherein you can either define based on timings, or you can define based on different codes, food codes. And then you have something called as multi-shift management, wherein if the employee is coming for multiple shifts, multiple shifts in a day, then we can define it as a multiple shift. You can define multiple shift groups also, so wherein the system can understand if the employees are coming on a multiple shift purpose. So whatever is available in the multi-shift is available in this panel itself. You can monitor the punches of the employee using this option. And then we have a very good option in terms of multiple approvers. So as the name suggests, we We can have multiple approvers for an employee. We have three options. One is workflow based, second is faith basis, and the third one is straight through. The first one means workflow, wherein the primary manager will first approve, then the secondary manager, then the company head, and then the department head. In terms of straight through, anyone approving will be treated as an approval, and in case of faith basis, all the employee managers have to approve, but it is not necessary that first primary manager has to approve first, or the secondary manager has to approve. Anyone can approve at any time, but all the managers have to approve for the leave to be approved. So here you can see which are the leave entries that are done. You can see the outdoor entry from this particular window, and then if you want to see, I will have to filter this because it's June month. Here are the outdoor entries. Here are the leave entries for this particular month, and then here you can see the attendance regulation entries, and then there are certain expense claim payroll options given here in this particular window. And then we will go to the register option again. As you saw that the other registers were available on this particular window. Here the shift related entries will be visible here. Attendance related register will be available here. You can see the present and absent status of the employee. Week offs will be visible in this fashion. You can override from here. The admin can override from here, or you can import using an Excel also if you want to override anything. OT register will be available. In case the OT is enabled, the details will be visible. And then shift register, whatever if the admin is assigning for the specific employee, that will be available here. OT can be seen here, and if it's transferring any employee from one department to another department, that will be available here. And this is an upcoming model which we are working on. Now you can, these are the leave entries. This is another window where you can see the leave entries, outdoor entries, credit history, and certain things what are available here. Earned leave as an option is also available, wherein as per the rule, you can define what needs to be credited for each present day. So if your rule is 21 leave per 20 days, so the fraction will come out to 0.05. So you can put 0.05 here and select the employee and say credit. This is the complete process which can be understood during the implementation. So the comp of related options are available here. The details will be visible over in this window. Device management I have already explained you. Import and export related details will be available here. Various details can be imported during the implementation or during the normal work of the company. Good amount of reports are also available. Daily attendance registers will be available here. Monthly attendance register will be available here. Lot of other basic report, detailed report, work duration, period wise, OT reports, a muster roll report. All these kinds of reports will be available. Yearly attendance report is available. You have abnormality report where you can see the missed punches or late comers. Those kind of reports are visible here. Absent, late coming, early going, and there are other reports also available here which can be seen. So this is all about the attendance part. Next, we will move to the payroll section. So we will now get started with the payroll part. As you see, the same similar dashboard options are available here, where you can see the active employees, present employees, offline devices, um, and then people who are present or absent today. What is the classification or the bifurcation of male and female employees, and those kind of details. This is one of the good things that you can see is who are the top 10 latecomers, early goers, absent employees, leave taken employees. Similar dashboards are available all through our software. So those kind of handy information will be available at all the windows. So, firstly, a brief explanation of what do we have on the payroll part is your complete statutory calculations are available in terms of PF, ESI, PT, LWF, TDS. So this thing on the statutory sides, all the calculations are available. All this is automatic, and the required upload ready formats are available. TDS is complete accurate, and whatever changes keep happening. Keep happening are also tracked by us and updated in the system on a regular basis. Um, and about the flexibility on the calculations of salary, we have a very flexible system, so people can have the calculations as they want. So we also call it as user-defined calculations are feasible in a system. And then we have a lot of additional options in terms of expense claim, asset tracker. Asset tracker is a smaller module. Expense claim is a good module that is available. Pre-salary transactions. In pre-salary transactions, we have advance, we have arrears, we have ad hoc earnings deductions. Then we have gratuity, leave encashment, and the similar features. And on the payout side, we do have pay slips, Form 16s to be generated, and then we have bank statement, both in the hard copy and the soft format. We do have four kinds of pay slips, which is full and final settlement pay slip, a regular pay slip, expense claim pay slip, and the reimbursement pay slip. Pay slips can be generated in two options. The normal pay slip, one is your single file, and the other one is your individual file. Single file would mean the all the employees' pay slips are generated in one file. This would be useful in case of worker class if they need to be given the pay slips. Then we have some advanced options in terms of TDS, in terms of F&F, in terms of LTA settings, reimbursement, and those kind of options are also available. So let me just get started on that. We have, as I said, the dashboard is available where it shows you the deductions and the earnings graph, your payout statement in terms of for the each month, for and this will be available for your last few months. So wherein you will see the additions, separations, settlements, work days, and everything. Uh, in terms of the master company, you will see the basic details which needs to be entered or the master setups that are available, which are also used at the payslip level. TDS you can configure here as in what months the TDS will get started deducted. Though the calculations happen for all 12 months, the deduction happens based on what the user defines. So it's an user-defined deductions. Basically, the system understands which specific month the deductions needs to start. You can also attach the company logo here, and there are certain few more options that are available as in terms of cosmetic or master settings, which are visible on the dashboard. Now we have you can create multiple salary structures. One flexibility that is given here is you can have your own defined month pay days calculations and salary days calculation. I hope I'll give a quick explanation on that. Salary calendar days would be your denominator against which you would divide the entire month salary, and pay days is one for which you are paying the employee the salary for. On the salary calendar side, you can have these three options, which is like actual days per month, fixed 30 days, or you can also have your own days specified, or you can define it in terms of a formula. Mid-month is something where you will have two different months, one for your attendance purpose and one for your payroll purpose. Payroll will always mean 1st to 31st or 30th, whereas attendance you can have from 26th to 25th or 21st to 20th, which is generally done to have some flexibility or buffer time for calculation of payroll. PT group is these are already defined. If you want to create another additional states or anything based on a sudden change in the government setup, that can be done here. You can create branches, you can create banks, so that your master details can be included employee wise. Then we have something called a checklist where you can have your own checklists or reminders that can be added for you to just pop up when you're doing the process payroll so that you don't forget something. General voucher is what will be available in terms of a journal entry which can be given to your accounts department so that they can pass the journal entry in their books of accounts. And this will be helpful so that you don't need to give the entire calculations. Instead, you can give them just the general entry in case you do not want to pass on all the detailed information to the department as well. Going next to the options, import from Excel option is available so that all the details that you want to import in terms of either during the implementation or during the regular usage, a lot of import options are available, so we don't have to do unnecessary manual work employee wise. The formats are available here, which can be used while you're doing the import process. And in case you want to export any specific details, the export option can also be used. In terms of input, this is what you can define. Again, you can see the dashboard here, which gives you certain information. Payroll month is can be defined here. In the payroll month, we are giving one good option, that is you can lock the month once your entire calculation is completed. You would obviously go for creation of an new month as and when it is required. So the previous month automatically gets locked until and unless you don't want it to get locked. You can say cancel once you have clicked on the update option. So when you're creating a new month, it automatically generally gets locked. But if you say cancel during the creation of the month, the previous month will not get locked. You can always go back and unlock this month in case you want to do any changes, but this is generally not suggested so that your books always match with what is already been processed. Publish payslip is the option wherein you can publish the payslips to the employee ESS login. Um, ESS login so that whatever calculations are already processed, the same thing gets published. That is why the payslip publish option is given separately. You can have n number of salary heads defined. The maximum limit that we have currently given is 32 earnings heads and 16 deduction heads. So I think this should be fair enough for any kind of company. So the further flexibility that are given in terms of salary head is you can have a different head which shows in the system and a different print name just in case you want to have a different print name in the payslip. Order can be defined, and then we have one good option in terms of FBB. We also call it as a flexible benefit plan, wherein you can define a head wherein the declaration will be required to be considered as exempt or non-taxable. And another thing that you can define is pay as proof submitted. So basically this particular head where you check this option will be processed only when you submit the proof for that particular component. This is normally seen in case of allowances like LTA or medical allowances, which is now no more does not it does not exist anymore. This is another few cosmetic options which can be used for payslip modifications or the way the payslip presents some of the information. So if you want any head to be showing in the payslip, you would check this. If you want it to show in the reimbursement payslip, you can check this option. If the amount has to be put or directly to net earning, this would be used. Similarly, the rest of the options are available here. So any head that you're defining, if you want it to be mapped against any general entry or general code, you would select that particular option here. So this are the certain options which are available when you're doing creating any salary heads. Once the salary heads are created, we would assign the heads to the structure. uh, so during the assigning of heads, here are the certain examples which gives you the flexibility in the system. You can define any head from a specific month till date, or you can stop it whenever you want. So this valid to is option is also given. Paydays and salary candidates, two options are given so that in case you have any employees for whom the attendance has to be captured while processing the payroll, you would be using paydays. And in case if you want the attendance not to be considered, then you would use salary calendar days, which is generally seen in case of management employees or management team. The other option which is used for calculation is you can have your heads which would be either manually you would include every month, which can always get forward, carried forwarded, which is given here, or it can be on a lump sum basis if all the employees are supposed to receive the same amount. Uh, there is but it will get changed based on the pay raise and or else you can define it on a formula basis where the formula can be defined here. So one of the important things or one of the good features that I would like to show you here is we have good number of formula variables that can be included and we can automate your calculations. This specifically is really important because um, these are number of variables that we are giving, which are picked up from either the already defined salary heads or from the details that have imported in terms of employee details or the attendance that has been captured in our previous, I mean, on the same platform, that is attendance part. So this all becomes really helpful when you're trying to automate something, since the data is already available on the same platform in terms of attendance. All this can be used to automate your calculations if those calculations are based on formula basis and you're not you're not capturing anything outside the system. So if the data is available in the system, then majority of the chances we should be able to do an automation for that. Some of the examples would be uh, like overtime automation. Some of the example other example would be if you're giving any allowance in terms only when the employee is present, like a tea allowance, your food allowance, or any night allowance that you're giving. So all these kind of allowances which are based on specific attendance data can be automated, or if there is something that is you want to have deductions or penalties in case of missed punches, late punches, LOP, leaves taken, absent days, those all things can be automated. We also have certain additional variables in terms of daily wages also, and then we have certain details in terms of shifts, leave types. So all this can be utilized for automation of a calculation, and this is really important because a lot of companies are using multiple softwares in terms of attendance and payroll, and the platforms are not the same. So a lot of data has to be imported from one software to another software, and then the calculations have to be done manual. But this all can be automated with a software. So that is why I consider this as a very important option. So when I say it's a single platform solution, and a lot of data can be used for automation of calculations. So as I was showing you the formula options, and then we have some internal options which make the calculation automation really feasible. So and then here is the statutory settings, which is again given at the front end, so that your entire statutory calculations also are completely in your hand. Though this all is been it's a standard process, still in case of any quick changes, if you want to do it based on the stand you want to take, this all is user defined and it is on the front end. So so whatever heads that you want, wherein the PF should get calculated, ESI should get calculated, PT should get calculated, you can have those checkboxes enabled, and the system will consider those for those statutory calculations. Now, this is a tedious part where you can define which particular head is considered in what way when the IT calculations are done. Non-taxable upper limits can also be defined. Since there are no standard or defined allowances or exemptions anymore. So we do not have that, but then you can always have your own limitations defined if you are permitted to do that. So in terms of input, this is the flexibility in the system. Here you can have you can view the employees and a lot of data can be imported using the Excel. But then again, this is the amount of data that is can be put into the system, and this is where you would configure the salary definition of the employee, as in when it would start calculating from, which is the structure would be considered, what is the mode of payment, bank details, and then the statutory enabling. The other options are available here. You can also have the document details here, and the separation details can also be captured for employee wise in case whenever the employee resigns. Here you can define the employee salary if it is one or two employees. Otherwise, you can always import it using an Excel option. Coming to the now that we have understood how many heads we can define, how the heads can be defined, how the salary can be included, what is the amount of flexibility. Now we'll understand how do we process the payroll and what is the kind of flexibility provided here. Uh, just before I inform you about the processing payroll, the other two options that are available here is you can hold the employee salary in case for some reason you do not want to process the employee salary, or pay the salary to that particular employee. Because whenever you're processing it, the statutories have to be processed in time, but the payment can be delayed in case you have good reasons for that. So you can hold employee salary and then you can anytime release it. So that option is given here. You can input the remarks and say hold salary. And whenever you want to release, you can just go to the that particular option and say release. A button will be enabled here. So process full and final settlement option is also available. I'll explain that at a little later. So whenever you're processing the payroll, you will be given an option of saying from and 2 months, so that in case of implementation phase, if you want to process multiple months, that can also be done. There are a lot of filter options are available, so that in case you want to do it for a specific group of employees, that can also be done. There are certain details available here in terms of link, which gives you certain details, as in good information, as in who are the employees whose PAN is not defined, salary structure is not defined. Or if you go to the April month, it will show you specific links where it will say, we show you the employees whose ESI gross is either greater than the ESI cutoff, or it will also show you the PF employees. Sorry, only the ESI employees. Since there are two contribution periods, whenever those we hit that particular month, we should be taking them out, or we will have to continue contributing to the next contribution period. So whenever we are processing the payroll, these kind of links will be available and filter options will be available. We can always have the calculations defined in three formats: monthly, daily, and hourly basis also. Whenever you're processing the payroll, you can process as a quick process so that only the calculations are run. And in case if you want to generate pay slip simultaneously, then you can use this option. So once you have processed the payroll, uh, you will see the generated numbers here, and you can always check it structure wise. So this is how the data will be available. You can always double click on that particular employee and see what are the earning heads that are provided to that employee. The gross total will be visible here. The various deductions will be visible here, the total of the deduction. And in case you want to really check the attendance once again for some specific reason, that will also be visible here on this particular screen with the details, as in what is the status of that employee for those specific days. uh, Post which you can always see the details here, as well as in what are the earnings and deductions. So this is what is available in terms of the window where you can check. This report will also be available in terms of Excel, but then if you want to check it for specific employees, you can always go back and check here. As I said, full and final settlement can also be processed. So whenever you are resigning an employee, you would stop the salary, and whatever is stopped can be processed as in terms of full and final settlement. So what is that we are offering in terms of FNF is you can have the resignation details defined. You can capture the notice period, and if you want to calculation any shortfall, that can be managed. It can be done as a direct amount, or you can have the formula defined. Earnings will pop up for whatever months you have stopped the salary, that will get displayed here in terms of which month and what is the amount. And in case you want to process any leave encashment, that can be given here. If you want to process any additional earning in terms of a bonus or leave, or any other gratuity or something, that can be processed separately also, which will be visible here within the same month or as a separate option. Deductions can also be defined in terms of additional deductions, or if you have any advance left out, then that will automatically get captured here. You don't have to process it separately. So FNF will take care of any shortfall, or it will take care of any advance that is pending. The rest of the things you can define or process it in the specific modules. So once you have processed the payroll as a normal process, you can go ahead and generate the payout statements in terms of bank statement. We have certain banks statements already defined here in the system, that is Bank of Baroda. Those kind of details are already available. But in case we don't have that particular option here, you can always go and request us to include that, or we have one of the options which says customized payroll report, wherein you can define it on your own as well. So you can define a number of customized payroll reports. Now here we have two options: paid in salary and independent. So while you're processing any additional earnings, if you want to process uh, any of the ad hoc payments as a separately, not within the salary, then the independent option can also be utilized. Bank format is the soft copy format, which is generally sent to the bank. So you can generate it based on any specific criteria or filter options for the specific month. As I said, you can process the payroll with the payslip. If you're not doing it there, you can do it from here also. So as I said, there are four payslip options which are visible here. You can generate a separate file or the single file, which I have explained before as well. The same filter options are available here. Once the payslips are generated there, you can always go back and view it here. So the payslips will get generated. Let me show you how the payslips will get generated. I would generate it for the last one and say generate separate files. So all the payslips will get generated, and once that is completed, it will show you how many payslips are generated. So once the payslips are, as I said, there are two options. So one is separate file and single file. Separate files is generally used for individual employees, and the payslips will be visible in their ESS login. Whereas the single file would be generated for as a single file, wherein all the payslips will be combined in the same file. Um, the system is processing the payslip. That's why it is taking a little bit of time. Let me just refresh and to see what is happening. Go back to the payout option and see whether the payslip has been generated or not. So we can see that the payslips have been generated for all the employees here. So one of the good options here is you don't have if the employees are using the employee self service, then they can always go into their employee self service login, which is this. I will log in a minute. So either they can view the payslips there, or they can even we can even select those particular employees and send the payslip to their email, which is visible here. So this option of send the payslip to their email can also be used. As I said, the reimbursement payslip, expense claim, full and final, all four types of formats are available. So once so that so now that we have understood the normal payroll process option, let us understand what are the additional free options that are available, which we also call as free salary transactions, because generally these are processed before processing the payroll. As I said, the advance option is available, wherein you can configure the advance of each employee, and which will get deducted as per whatever schedule you give here. Currently, we can define the lump sum amount and the simple interest amount and the number of installments. The system will automatically calculate the installment amount. The issue date has to be given, and the recovery month has to be given here. And you can select the employee and allot that particular advance. So once the advance is allotted, you would generally see here like this particular premiums will be visible. Whatever premium is recovered will be visible in terms of it will say true as in recovered, and whatever are pending will show as false. So in case if you want to change any premium for any specific reason, you can just change that amount and say adjust a new month. So whatever is the difference that you have changed, the system will calculate the difference and create a new month at the end of the installment period and generate as a new installment. If you want it to be nullified, you can just change it to zero and say is recovered. So there is no new month that will get created, and you can include the remarks for your future reference. So this is how you can define the advance. Additional earnings can also be given. Additional earnings can be given in two ways. One, you can eitherly directly give a specific amount and say allot it to specific employees, or you can use the formula option. In terms, we have also given the from and 2 months. So in case you want to capture any attendance data, so or any already processed salary numbers, those can be picked here in the formula option. The formula options would be the same that I had shown some time back in this current video session. So those can be used to automate the calculation, and the same can be allotted here. While creating the master, one of the good options that are given is the you can also define whether PF, ESI, PT, and those kind of things have to be calculated or not, and whether you want to pay this particular amount as in within the salary, or it should be paid separately. If you want it to be paid separately, you will have to keep this box unchecked, and the same thing can be processed. General voucher is again the option wherein if you want to include this particular number in the journal entries, then either you can select a different head here, or you can include it in your other salary expenses. Here there is a couple of options that are given here in terms of bonus or ex gratia. If you check, if you're processing the bonus amount, you should check this option so that the form will get generated. We have certain compliance forms which are available in our software. So those forms will get generated based on the criteria selection which you do at this particular window. So in the similar format, you can do the additional deductions also. Employee IT declaration is one of the very good options which is available here, wherein the admin can do the declaration for the employee, or the employee himself and can go and do the IT declaration here. So all the sections are available here. You can also define the HRA part. You can also submit the proofs as well, which let me show you here. Um, Proofs can be submitted. I'll show you here in terms of how the proofs can be submitted. So you can see here that you can upload the proofs from the ESS login. So similar option will also is also available here. Will be available in the admin login as well. So you can also submit the HRA declarations. You can submit the house property declarations, SOP, LOP declarations, and the previous employment income that you have, that can also be submitted here. Any other income if you have, the same can be entered here in this IT declaration. So in case if you want to lock the declaration, once the declarations are collected from all the employees, then you can lock the declaration from this particular option. You can lock the declaration only for specific employees, or you can do it for all the employees as well. So now the next option is the increment option. Generally, this module is used in case if you are doing a standard increment for all your employees as in percentage or amount. So that can be used here. Or in case the numbers are different, you can always import using the standard import option. So then one of the good options available is the arrears part. Um, in the arrears part, you can process the employee arrears. There are generally two types of arrears that is processed. One is your hike arrears, so which will have couple of 2 or 3 months hike to be processed, and the other one is your LOP arrears or last month missed calculation arrears. So what you can do is either you can import the arrears amount in case if you want to do that, or you can have the system calculate that from here. Well, again, when you're defining that particular year, you can define as in what statutories needs to be calculated and which are the heads which needs to be included while processing the arrears. In case the company wants to give the arrears only on specific heads, then that can also be defined in the master. Here you can define in the which month you want to process the arrear and from which month to which month the arrears needs to be calculated. For an example, if you want to process, if your hike has been confirmed in the month of October and it is being processed from October month, so the new numbers will be processed from October, but the arrears will be liable from either April to September or as per the discussion between you and management. So here you will select pay month as of October, and here you will select April to September, and the refer month would be the month in which you have defined the new salary. So it would be probably be October month. Partial month again, as I said, if it would be generally used for LOP areas. So you need to select the month for which you're processing the partial month. I mean the LOP days. So in case you're doing now we are in the month of June. So if you're doing it for May month, you would select May month and the number of days. The system would check whether there is an LOP for those number of days, then it would accept it and you can process it. So you can select that particular employee and process it as in terms of LOP or high careers from here. You can also process the gratuity from here. Gratuity as in you can, what is that? Once an employee resigns, that is when the gratuity is generally processed, or exceptionally it is done in case of expiry of an employee. Once you select that particular employee, the details will be visible here. Since I've selected an active employee, the date of leaving has not been generated. Let me just select one of the, yeah. So once an employee, resigned employee selected, the date will just show up. You can define the date of payment. You can define the mode of payment. The check details can be entered here. You can define the formula in case you have a separate formula or we have a standard formula which can be selected. The numbers of years will show up. If you want to change that, that can be changed. The maximum amount is showing up here, which will be updated to 20 lakhs. Since this is the number that is new number which is applicable. Taxable amount will show up here. The gratuity calculation will show up here. The exempted amount that is as per the rules will show up here. So this is how then you can update the calculations. First you can hit the calculate button to show the calculation, and then you can click on the update button to process the gratuity. Leave encashment can also be processed once an employee resigns or during any specific year, you can process the leave encashment as well. As you can see here, you can select the leave type. This only those leave types will show up for which we have enabled the leave encashment. The formula can be selected and the number of leaves to be encashed can be processed from here. You can, as I said, the date declaration can be logged. So now that we have understand all the normal process of the payroll, we will go ahead and check some of the advanced options like Form 24Q can be generated from here. You can, the statutory settings are on the front end. You can always go and check that, but we would suggest you to take training before using this. 80 and Form 16, certain admin level setups are available here, or this is generally for the use of support people. LTA settings as in are available in case if you want to do any adjustment or carry forward the LTA balances. This is available as a full-fledged setup. FNF stopping of the salary or generation of the statement is available here. In terms of advanced option, this is what is available. Reports, in terms of reports, as I said, you can have your own report configured. Let me show you this at the end of this particular report module is completed. So what you can do from the PT, the statutory report section, is you can generate the PF challan, which is a text file can also be generated, and CSV file can be generated. The text file is the one which is used for uploading. This is upload ready. You can generate the ESI challan report also, but a quick couple of changes have to be done before uploading. The format is the same, but you just have to convert it into the text format. The PT report is available. In terms of income tax, the computation report is available, the projection report is available, the Form 16 is available, the TDS breakup report is also available. In terms of salary advance, if you're processing any advance report and the transaction report is available. The reimbursement allotment, in case you are using the reimbursement module, then the entire reimbursement allotment, the breakup will be visible in terms of what are the details. So this will be available. In terms of salary reports, you would normally see the statutory register. This is different from the challan report format. This is a register format which can be printed and kept for your hard copy requirements. So all the reports can be generated at one place, that is LWF, PT, PF, PSI, and the supplementary PF report. Salary dashboard report, earning reports are available. This is again, you can generate a standard format. You can generate a yearly summary, or you can have a comparison between the earned versus theoretical. Earn salary report is again, you can generate a standard format, or you can generate the latest and the CTC format. You can generate from 2 months. This is done in case you want to generate it from multiple months. Here you can generate the arrears salary sheet. Reconciliation report is one where it gives you the difference between the last month and the current month, so that if you see any huge difference between the 2 months, so the same can be used as a trigger for verification, as in why there is so much of difference. This is quite useful for the management purpose. Old employee salary would be a statement which would show all the employees for whom you have kept the salary on hold. Salary and wage register is kind of a muster report which can be used for again salary compliance documentation. There are other reports in terms of CTC report is available. The revision history would also mean your hike history or your promotional history report. So that can also be used. We have certain daily wage reports available for those employees for whom you're processing on a daily basis. So here the dates are available in case you want to process it on a weekly basis or daily basis. These are the reports which are generally available for the daily wage employees. Now the customized report. Here you can see that you can define the report on your own. These are the various heads which are available in terms of salary heads. These are the expense claim heads. These are the classification details, as in the classification details, and then the employee details are available here in case if you want that also to be included in your report. The attendance details are also available, so that so this basically is a very good window wherein you can create your own format, and once you have created one format, you can use the same format regularly for your various months. You can also add any out of system field. The system would not generate any numbers, but it can be included as a column, so that if you want to put any numbers from out of the system, then that option will be available for adding in the report. So you can add your own reserved heads, and that can also be included in your customized payroll reports. As I said, there are certain government forms and reports that are included in the system. You have the muster roll report in terms of Form P, Form 9 in terms of overtime payment report. There are a couple of bonus reports. There are register of fine is available in terms of Form I. Annual report for the Factories Act, leave wages register is available, PF declaration form is available, your nomination form is also available, your equal remuneration form is also available. and then your combined annual report for the Form U is also available. So there are we would be including more forms, and then we would be segregating it state-wise, so it is more user-friendly from the user interface point of view. So these are the various options that are available in the payroll. One of the options that I just missed is the expense claim part. This is again a very good module which can be used for the expense claim purposes. So you can create a number of categories as in main heads, and then you can create subcategories here. In terms of category, it would be a specific head name that you would create, and this would be a subcategory that you would create. So you would align it with the major category head, and you can also define whether it is a business expense or a personal expense. You can define it to be active, inactive, whether you want it to be visible in the payslip, or if you if you uh, if you uncheck this, this would be visible in the expense payslip. If you want it to be visible in the payslip, it will show in the payslip, or if you can keep it unchecked. If you want to be paid in salary, then it will be paid in salary, or you can keep it as independent. So basically, in the subcategory, you have all the options where you can manage the report view part or the report part of this particular category. Then what you can do is for that particular category, you can define your own policy in terms of which particular group of employees can claim which different expense categories to what limits in terms of per instance and monthly. So basically, what I mean to say is you can define the monthly and instance limits uh, category wise, and then you can group the expenses that can be claimed by an employee or a group of employee in terms of a policy, and that can be assigned to the employee, which is available in the payroll employee window. Uh, this is the admin window where you can see the expense claim details. The same can be included. Once the employee submits, it will go to the approval for the managers. Once that is approved, then it will show up here in the multi-level approval. The expense claim will also have this facility of multiple approvals, so you can have multiple approvals for this expense claim policy as well. So in short, this is entire thing about the payroll features. If you have any questions, my team should be able to help you on this. You can always contact us on the contact the numbers or email ID which are visible on our website. Now, next thing we would be covering is the employee self-service option in terms of the attendance and payroll part. So now let's understand about the ESS options available. Basically, ESS is employee self-service, and we also have a mobile app which has most of the features, except for a few because of limitations. Now, in terms of attendance, what can be done? Employee can first, very important part, he can check his swipe details, because this is the most important part. He can check what is his in punch, out punch in terms of various days. He can also check he can also change the date, and he can see the attendance for the various dates. Once he has checked the attendance, he can also check swipe details. He can check his attendance in terms of presence and absence. Uh, so let me just filter for the previous month, wherein he can see whether he's present, absent for various days and all that. If there is any concern about that, he can also apply for an attendance regularization in terms of specific day. He can select the reporting manager, and he can book the remarks as in why he wants to apply for that particular regularization. He can view he can view his colleagues on leave this week, since there is no one on leave this today. There's nothing visible here. Otherwise, you will see the people on leave for this particular week. You can apply for leave from here. You can apply for comp of grant. You can apply for comp of leave application. Employee leave entries can be visible from here. Since I have not applied for anything, nothing seems to be visible. Uh, Employee leave summary can be visible from here. You can see what is the balance available for 2021. You can see the balance available for 2020 availed and lapsed. So all that information will be visible. Leave credit history will be visible. Employee documents manager is where you will see what are the various documents that are generated and included in the employee documents from the admin side. So this is being uploaded by the admin of this particular company. You can apply for employee leave encashment. You can initiate a resignation from here, and you can check about the exit request if you are a manager. You can apply for outdoor. In terms of outdoor, you can select the from and to date and timing, and you can select whether it is official, personal, or out of station. You can select the reporting manager, include the remarks. You can check the employee OD entries, your own outdoor entries if there are any. Uh, you can filter on various date basis, and then you can, if you want to cancel, you can cancel any outdoor entries also. Here you can check your holiday list in terms of what are the holidays which you are eligible for, and whether there are any restricted holidays which you need to apply against. So in case you want to apply for restricted holidays, you can go for applying the restricted holidays. You can select the restricted holiday that is upcoming. You can select for that. You can select the reporting manager and the remarks. So basically, you can do the attendance part. You can apply for leave, check the various credit histories. In OD, you can check for public holidays. You can check your attendance details, apply for regularization, and you can check for employees on leave this week. And from the profile perspective, you can check your profile here, and you can include other details also here which are visible here, and update. Uh, these whatever updates you're filling will not directly get updated in the admin part. There is another option here in HRMS wherein he can, once he confirms those profile updates, only then it will go and hit the master details like here. So you are seeing only few details. The rest of the details can be seen here. You can go to the profile page and you can include all the other details in terms of address, contacts, important dates, your dependents, your medical details, your skills, your language, your past experience, your employee banking details like this. Since this is already available in the system, that's why it's visible. Your education details, all these kind of details can be included, and the same things will be visible in the employee window of the attendance part here. So these details will be visible here in the admin login. So you can update that. Apart from that, you can change your password, and the notifications will be available whenever there are anything happening related to you. Your pending checklist option will give you to see whatever pending details. Your request center will give you an option to check various things which are pending on you. In terms of payroll, you can submit your IT declaration. This is a very important option in terms of payroll, wherein he can submit his IT declaration and he can also upload proofs for that. Employee will be able to change his declaration until it is not locked, and whenever there are changes, the admin will have the option to modify the same. So various details are available here. He can submit his IT declaration. He can submit if there are components against which he is supposed to submit any declaration. So those will appear here, and so he can submit his declaration from here. Apart from that, he can submit a travel request. Travel request will have the trip name, the dates, and the description, which will be submitted to the manager. The manager can go and check into the employee travel request fields will be visible here. If there are already, if there are unapproved, those will automatically approve. If there are, since I have not there are no requests submitted by employees, so those are not available. Otherwise, all the travel requests submitted by the employees of a specific manager will be available here, and that can be approved. Uh, And then for that particular travel request, the expenses claims can also be submitted. Whenever you're submitting any expenses, you can select the particular travel request, the bill number, the merchant name, the amount, the date on which you're submitting the remarks, and you can upload the proof for the same, and you can send it to the approver in case the approval system is enabled. Here you can, I would like to show one thing is, in case uh, there are certain different fields for different category of expenses, so you will see different fields for different expenses out of the standard expenses. So employee can submit the expense claims. Once he has submitted the expense, those will be visible here in this particular window. Just see if I have submitted any expenses. Let me just submit one, and then we can go to proof submission option also, because if there is any FPB which is defined as pay as proof submitted, so the same can be done from here also. You will have to submit your bill number, you will have submit the bill date, the amount, remarks, and upload the files, and then you can submit that particular claim. The system has its own logics wherein it will check against the limitations per month and your total feasibility of expenses that you can submit. If it is beyond the limitation, it will not let you submit that particular FPB's proof submission. You can also check your year-to-date summary from here, as in what has happened till date in terms of your salary, in terms of your deductions and all that is visible here. If you would like to see it for the last year, that will also be visible here. What terms of expenses, what kind of salary you have received. If there is any bonus, that is also visible here, and all the deductions will be visible here. If you want to check, if you want to generate a payslip, you can generate payslip for yourself. Let me just show you. If the payslip is already generated, then it will get generated like this, and you can generate a payslip. You can download an IT statement from here. Your IT statement will get generated on a year basis, so that can also be generated from the ESS login. You can also check the IT projection based on whatever you have submitted as your IT declaration. Same thing will be visible here. So if you have submitted any uh, HRA declaration, then that will appear here as a total rent paid. Since I have not submitted, it's not visible. I've submitted certain IT declaration in terms of section chapter 6A exemption. So ATC is visible here. Based on that, my total tax on total income would be 6,888. So which is under the rebate. So it is getting adjusted here. So there is no tax that is recoverable. So these all things can be checked from the employee self-service login. The mobile app will have a clock in, clock out option also. So that will be as an add-on option in the mobile app. Here also you will have a clock in, clock out option, but that is disabled in this particular login. That's why it is not visible. Otherwise, you could see clock in, clock out. And this submit request is an option for applying leave, outdoor regulation, restricted holiday, comp of rent application, or comp of leave application. So basically, this is what can be done in the ESS from the attendance and the payroll point of view. The manager can check all these entries here. The pending approvals can be checked here. The travel request can be checked here. If and there are any expense claim that are submitted by the employee will be visible here. What is the status of approval will be visible here. So the manager can check various details. Employee attendance details can be checked for the entire month. Weekly attendance details can be checked. You will also get an email about the weekly attendance details if you're on cloud. Leave entries can be checked. You can check the employer travel request from the HRMS point of view. If there are surveys or feedbacks conducted, then can be visible. Performance side, you can set the employee goal, and then you can see the employee performance submissions also. You can see the employee, you are reporting employee list, and if you want to initiate resignation for those particular employees, you can do it from here. You can check the employee leave summary, and one of the important option is the screen logs. We have another feature by name employee screen capture. So if you want to check for any specific employee in terms of his screen capture for the date, you can select that particular employee and you can generate that particular for that particular employee. If there are no this will show it only for your subordinates, not for all the employees. So let me just show you. These are the screen captures that have happened for this particular employee for today. So the manager will also be able to see the various screenshots that are captured by the system for this particular employee. So the system captures every 8 seconds what is the employee going. So this is what can be done on the HRMS side. The employee performance review can be submitted. He can check the company policy or forms that are submitted. He can submit his key result area submissions. Checklist can be viewed. He can raise an help desk ticket. He can check the raised ticket status. He can check the surveys or give a feedback. He can check the trainings and he can check which are the trainings has been allotted to him, and he can check any message that has been sent to him. This is all about the ESS part, and just to mention, we have a mobile app also.